All right, we are live here. Blue Jays versus Mets. Blue Jays looking to sweep the Mets here as Kodai Senga is on the mound for the Mets. RE2 out here at top of the first. Springer would ground out, and Bichette would strike out as Guerrero has a 3-1 count here against Kodai Senga. Really good pickup for the Mets, by the way. I really thought he was going to go to a good team. Mets are a good team for him, suits him well with the pitching rotation as he walks Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the first walk of the game. And that will bring up Brandon Belt, who's having a pretty good season for the Toronto Blue Jays, hitting 262 right now after that slow start of April. He has really turned things around here with the Blue Jays, and he's batting fourth with Guerrero on base and one out. It's going to make sure that the sound is good here. There we go. Sound is good. And we're golden as Brandon Belt, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs on the season, 42 games. Mostly playing, and a quick pitch to Guerrero, and he slides back safe, but Alonso thinks he tagged him. Are the Mets going to look at this? That was a quick throw over by the catcher of the Mets, and Guerrero. Oh, that's close. That is really close there. I think he might be out. I think they got Guerrero out at first here. Depends if that... I think Alonso swiped the bag and hit the shoulder after the arm was there. You can tell the jersey moves for sure, but Vladdy is already at the bag. Well, that's going to be close. They are reviewing this to see if Vladdy is out. And Vladdy is out as a throw over by the catcher gets Vladdy leaning, and that will end the top of the first. Kodai Senga, technically 3 up, 3 down while facing Brandon Belt. And he will be up to bat here at the start of the second for the Jays. But going to the bottom of the first, this is the first live stream in a bit. Sorry if it's a little rough. I haven't done this by myself in a while. If you guys notice anything, just let me know if the quality is low or whatnot. Let's put a poll in. Can I do that? How do you do that? And with 3 of you in here, welcome in. As I'm just going to set up a poll here for everyone that tunes in. As who's going to win today's game? Let me know by this poll, as we're just going to do this quickly. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button as we're on our way to 500 now. Thank you guys for getting us up to 400. Now 500 is the goal here on the channel. Like I said, we do anything from hockey to MLB. So we got the summertime covered, we got the wintertime covered, and of course the layovers in April, May, June, October, September, preseason for the NHL. So a lot of stuff to go. As on here, they are talking about Pete Alonso hitting 258 versus left-handed pitchers this year with 6 home runs. And with that being said, Kikuchi is on the mound for his 12th start of the season, 4.47 ERA, 92 ERA plus with a whip of 140 and an 8.3 Ks per 9. So that is up from last year. Kikuchi's ERA is down. That's good to see. But, he has struggled at the start of the season. The last 3-4 starts for Kikuchi has been great, as Tommy Pham is in there with a called strike 1 on a fastball down and a low, and there's another fastball inside that is called a strike right on the paint. That's good to see by Kikuchi to start this thing off. Here comes the pitch, and Pham will foul that away as Kikuchi misplaced that. I believe that is We'll see who's behind the plate for the Blue Jays here in a minute. That looks like Tyler Heineman is behind the plate as Kikuchi with a slider gets Pham swinging for his first strikeout of the game. Kikuchi 4 pitches, Pham swinging and missing on a pretty good slider there from Kikuchi. And here comes the pitch by Kikuchi. That will be down in the dirt. I was going to open up a wild cherry Pepsi. These Pepsis are actually pretty good. And Mark Kana is up. 5 home runs, 18 RBIs for Kana this year with the Mets. And that will be ball 2 down and low after making pretty good pitches to Pham. Kikuchi, Kana versus Kikuchi, 5 for 17 with 4 extra base hits and 4 RBIs. So they're playing him safe, but there's a strike in there as Kana just watched that one go in for him. And it is Tyler Heineman behind the plate with Danny Jansen still on the IL. That's someone that the Jays do like to have on the back end. For sure, he's proven that he could be that guy. Count is 3-1. Here comes Kikuchi, and that is up in the zone for strike 2. Full count to Kana. I think I said Kana by accident, but Kana has a full count versus Kikuchi here. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the first time Kikuchi and Heineman have been together pitching, so we'll see how this goes for the Blue Jays today as they look for the sweep. And that will be a fastball down in the dirt, and Kikuchi doesn't like where he pitched that, as that was meant for inside, and I think that just got away from Kikuchi at that point. One of those pitches where the pitchers just can't control what the ball does. Here's Francisco Lindor up to bat with Kanha at first, and he will swing through a pitch, and that is strike 1 to Lindor. I remember when Lindor used to be on the cover of MLB. That was, 3-4 years ago? Kikuchi set up and gets him to swing again through a slider. That slider is being nasty for Kikuchi right now. Lindor hitting .212 but has 10 home runs and 40 RBIs. So this guy is pretty good when he hits. And here comes the pitch, and that will be another slider down in the dirt. And Lindor just killed a fly on live TV. In the series, Lindor's 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts. Kikuchi's trying to make that 0 for 9 with 6 strikeouts and a throw over just to check on the runner. And Belt is playing first base today, so Guerrero must be DH. And Belt's been a really good substitution there for Vladdy, giving him time off as it's a 1-2 count to Kikuchi. Or to Lindor, and Lindor will foul that foul, and the count remains the same as Alm's asking for a couple more baseballs from the ball boy. There's Vladdy. Here's Lindor, pitch to Lindor, and that's another fastball that, Kikuchi has thrown and hasn't gotten where he wants to go. He's thrown about 6 fastballs already in this first inning. He's up to 15 pitches, but 2 of them have been about not where he wants it. He just on the mound there's another pitch and a strikeout for Kikuchi. That's 2 strikeouts this inning and a walk for Kikuchi. In left field, we got Whit Merrifield, center field, Varsho, and Springer in right field as That means Kevin Kiermaier is getting the night off. Matt Chapman at third, Bichette, Biggio, Belt, and Tyler Heineman. So with the series win, the Blue Jays are resting a few guys, and there's a ground ball to Bo Bichette over to Biggio, and that is the third out by Kikuchi. Pretty good inning, some missed pitches, some really good sliders that, Conan took for a ball. But other than that, the walk, Kikuchi had a pretty good first inning as we are going to commercial break here. As I'm getting phone notifications here. Oh, that's frozen. That's fine. As we were talking about Woody's RV World here. Two of you in here, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new to the channel and don't mind hitting that subscribe button, as during the summertime, it's all about baseball. During the wintertime, it's all about hockey. We got you covered here and might move into some NBA in the near future here as Hazel May is talking here for the Blue Jays. Of course, I'm in Canada, so I get the Blue Jays broadcast. For the Mets side, not too sure what happens over there. As they are talking about Kodai Senga, who was a really good pickup for the Mets this year. Him and Verlander completing that rotation for the Mets. And, it's great to see guys like him come over from Japan and whatnot, as he was talking to Kikuchi earlier before the game. Kikuchi and Senga, pretty good buddies, they're saying. So that's pretty neat to see is, two buddies trying to go or going against each other. You don't see that many times throughout the course of guys' careers. And at the end of the day, they're all friends. They all talk to each other. When it's game time, it's serious. But after the game, every sport, it's like that. Unless you're Darnell Nurse fighting Patrick Maroon for some reason after being best friends. But that's a different story, or Zach Kassian. But here's Brandon Belt with a 2-0 count. Like I said, he was up to bat in the first inning. Saw some pitches, but Vladdy got thrown out at first on a quick throw by the catcher, as that is going to be another ball in the dirt for Senga. And Belt has a 3-0 count here. Since May 1st, 25 games, Brandon Belt has been hitting .338 for the Blue Jays, and that's a pretty good pitch by Senga. Low in the zone for strike one. 3-1 count here to Kodai Senga. And there's another really good pitch. Belt fouls out. So Senga comes back in the count 3-2 after being down 3-0. And Belt calls time. And Brandon Belt is one of those players that, knows how to get into the pitcher's head a little bit. He has a really good foul ball rate as well. He can protect that strike zone, as here's the 3-2 pitch. They're going down and away, and Belt swings through a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and that will be Senga's second strikeout of the game, as he got Bichette and Belt, the two Bs of the Toronto Blue Jays here. That was a really good fastball by Senga. Just going to see who the catcher is here for the Mets. Matt Chapman having a phenomenal season for the Blue Jays, hitting .280 for the season, and that will be strike one to Chapman as he just lets that one go. And the catcher is Alvarez. Okay. So Fam Escobar is in today. Marte is in right field. Okay. As here comes the pitch by Senga, and the ump is saying Chapman went around. That will be strike 2 to Matt Chapman. Senga, 23 pitches through 1 1/3 right now. Like I said, Matt Chapman having a really good year, and a huge pickup is Kodai Senga by the Mets this offseason. He was rumored to be going to a lot of teams, decided, hey, we're going to the Mets, as that will be ball 1 to Matt Chapman, 1-2 count. And Matt Chapman's playing for a contract extension this year with the Blue Jays, and he is showing why they should re-sign him. As here comes the 1-2 pitch to Chapman. That's high and inside, and Chapman looks at Senga in disgust of how close that was to him. And Chapman kind of has some words to Senga there, as it's a 2-2 count. Choked up on the bat a bit here, so Chapman's going for the contact, get on base anyway how. And that is down the line, foul, and Senga knows he got away with a pitch there. As Chapman's still rubbing his eye, he's kind of taking a few timeouts just to figure out what's in his eye right now. Could just be some dust from the wind blowing, As here's the 2-2 pitch again to Chapman. And that will be ball 3, full count. So both batters this inning for the Blue Jays making Senga work into full counts here. But it doesn't seem to be phasing Senga at this moment. Here's the full count pitch, and that will be, well, he didn't swing, so that's ball 4 anyway, but Alvarez let that ball go all the way down to the Mets dugout there. As next to come up is Dalton Varsho, hitting .216 this year for the Toronto Blue Jays. And Alvarez wanted that, inside, and that pitch was outside and caught him off guard. As here is Dalton Varsho with Matt Chapman on first base, and he'll take ball 1 from Kodai Senga, who is on pitch 30 with only being through 1 1/3 right now. Dalton Varsho, .216 with 9 home runs for the Blue Jays this year. And that is down the line, and that will be a single. Marte bobbles it, and Chapman will take advantage of that and work his way to third. So runners on the corners for the Blue Jays. Varsho with 111 mile per hour. This Blue Jays team, I've watched a few times here. They can hit. And I'm not saying just home runs, but just the singles, how hard they are hit, it's pretty amazing to see as Marte bobbles the ball on the ground, and that will let Chapman go to third. So runners on the corners for left fielder Whit Merrifield, who's doing pretty good for the Blue Jays this year, hitting .293. The bottom of the order for the Blue Jays this year has been doing really good. Him, Kiermaier, Varsho, we'll say, is down there as well, as that will be top of the strike zone for strike 1. Whit Merrifield, 2 home runs, but 21 RBIs. Not a guy that's going to supply you power really defensively, but plays the small game for the Blue Jays. As in, he's 3 for 17 with runners in scoring position this year. Yet he has 21 RBIs. It makes you wonder. As that ball is tossed in the dirt, and Alvarez will keep that in front of him. Varsho will stay at first, and Chapman didn't even move. 1-1 count to Whit Merrifield. 2 of you in here, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the first live stream in a long time I've done. As here's Kodai Senga. 1-1 pitch, and that will be outside. 2-1 count. Whit Merrifield and the Blue Jays are making Kodai Senga work with 1 out here. Runners on the corners. He's already at pitch 16 of this inning. Hoping for a ground ball here is Senga. And Whit Merrifield will hit that into the gap, and that's down for a base hit. Chapman will score. Varsho around second, and he is safe as Whit Merrifield hits a double into the gap and scores Chapman from third and Varsho from first. And the Blue Jays are up 2-0 on Kodai Senga with RBI 22 and 23 by Whit Merrifield here today, as that was a really good swing by Whit. And Varsho took off right when he saw that hit. He didn't even think about the outfielders getting that. And with the speed of Varsho, he's scoring easily from first on that double by Merrifield. Now, a runner on second with one out, and Biggio up to bat hitting 179. Biggio's hitting numbers have been down since his rookie year, as he has 4 home runs, 8 RBIs this year. And that will be strike 1 to Kevin Biggio. Here's Senga, and Biggio will ground that through the middle. What a dive by Lindor over the first, and he's going to get Biggio. That was a really nice play by Lindor, but Merrifield will make his way up to third on that play. If Lindor doesn't slide there, that's an easy run for Merrifield to score from second, as they were playing the shift there too, so that's why Lindor got there. Whereas in playing the shift, you're not there. That was a really good play by Lindor. Next up, Tyler Heineman, 154 average. Hasn't played in many games for the Blue Jays this year. And that will be low and inside for ball 1. Heineman, only 5 games. He's played with Pittsburgh and Toronto this year. He played with the Blue Jays, I believe it was last season or 2 seasons ago. He played a few games when I believe Danny Jansen was hurt too back then. But a guy that can help out the Blue Jays in any way, really defensive. Bat's not always going to be there, but defensively he can help, as that will be ball 3 to Tyler Heineman, as the Blue Jays have made Kodai Senga pitch 23 pitches this inning, as this will be pitch 40 coming to Heineman. I don't think he has the green light here with Merrifield on third, but I could be wrong. Yeah, he just let that one go for a strike. That was a pretty good pitch by Senga too, top right of the strike zone to the lefty Heineman. As pitch 41, it is a 3-1 count here to Heineman. And that will be straight down the middle. And Senga, for the third time this inning, after being down 3-0 in the count, has brought it back to 3-2. Like I said, Tyler Heineman's not known for his bat, but the odd time he could get on base with a bloop single. And he fouls that behind the plate. Alvarez is going back to see if he could get that, but that's out of play. Went Merrifield at third base after a huge double to score Varsho and Chapman. After Chapman walked, Varsho hit a single to right field, which was bobbled by Marte when it was rolling to him, and that's what made Chapman get to third base on that play. Here's the 3-2 count, pitch 43 for Kodai Senga, and that will be a walk as he walks the 9th hitter, and that will bring up Springer Dinger here, who now is second all-time after that home run against former teammate Justin Verlander in Game 1, as the Mets pitching coach is coming out to talk to Senga to see what is going on here, as he will be close to 50 pitches here today, as the Blue Jays lead 2-0 on a double by Whit Merrifield. And the umpire's going out. I think they get a little bit more time to talk just because the translator is out there for the Mets, as Kodai Senga agrees to whatever they talked about, and everyone will get back into position. This game could easily be 3-0 with 1 out, if it wasn't for a fantastic play, diving play by Francisco Lindor to rob Biggio that got Whit Merrifield from second to third. That gets it through there. It is easily 3-0 for the Jays. So good defensive play by Lindor. Here's pitch 44. Like I said, George Springer up to bat for the Jays. And he takes a rip at that one. He was just late as he grounded out in the first. 261 average for George this year with 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. Runners on the corners, Merrifield at third, Heineman at first after a walk. And an 0-1 count to Springer, and Springer lets that, and that was a tough call. Springer does not like that one, but it'll be an 0-2 count as Senga just gets what looked like a curveball in there. And what's going on here? Timeout by the catcher. Okay, that's new. But hey, 0-2 count to Springer. Pitch 46 of the game. We're only in the second here. Blue Jays up 2-0. Threatening with 2 guys on. And Springer will bloop hit it to Escobar, and that will end the inning as the Blue Jays put 2 runs on the board courtesy of Whit Merrifield's double. And Springer was hoping that hit was just going to get over Escobar. He tried to drop it over top of the third baseman to score Whit Merrifield from third, but didn't work. And that's okay, as Kikuchi will come back to the mound after this commercial break. Just want to say, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as we do hockey and baseball here on the channel. No matter what, we always got coverage of something all year round, 365, as we will have live streams like this of both sports, game recaps, news. If you guys haven't seen, Luke Voigt was released just the other day. As we just wait for the commercials for you in here, thank you guys so much for tuning in. There is a poll going. Who are you rooting for, the Mets or the Blue Jays? I'm trying, I love good baseball, and seeing Kikuchi versus Senga is friends going at it. That's part of the game. You're all friends until you're on the field, and then after that last out of the game, you're back to being friends. Every sport's like that. Love to see it. Except for, the rivalries, of course. As we're just in commercial break here. As it is an alcoholic commercial. Just check the notifications. As the Blue Jays are up 2-0, and here's Escobar, and Kikuchi will throw it just low for ball 1. Escobar, 244 this season with 4 home runs and 14 RBIs for the Mets in 33 games this season. As that just slid out of Kikuchi's hands again. There's been a couple pitches by Kikuchi where it's just his release point has been messed up. 2-0 count to Escobar. And now Kikuchi got a pitch called there for strike 1. That was high, not going to lie. But it's a 2-1 count to Escobar. And that's a fastball high and inside for ball 3. Kikuchi only pitched 17 pitches in the first inning. He's on pace to at least go probably 5-6 innings here. That's what the Jays need, as Escobar will swing through a low fastball for strike 2, and that is a full count for Kikuchi. As here comes the full count pitch, and Escobar will just foul that one off towards the Blue Jays dugout. As there's here comes the full count pitch again, and Escobar will just hit that foul down the third base line. I thought that was fair, and we'll do the full count pitch again here. This will be the third pitch of the full count. And a swing and a strike by Escobar. Kikuchi's third strikeout in 4 possible outs, as he has the pitch location going right now for the Blue Jays, as that was just a pretty good pitch by Kikuchi, and Escobar knew it right away. And here's Sterling Marte after a costly bobble in right field in the top of the second. He's here and will take strike 1. And there's strike 2, and Heineman moved that pitch up, and Marte knows it, as Marte's hitting .245 with 2 home runs and 16 RBIs in 54 games for the Mets this year. And here comes another pitch, and that was just a missed pitch. At this point, I think Kikuchi's purposely doing this, because it seems about every halfway through the count, he throws an odd one outside. And here comes the pitch, and Kikuchi thought he had him. That was really close. If you're going to call the one down low a strike, that one better be called a strike 2. As here's the 2-2 pitch to Marte, and he'll foul that one off, and they'll do it again. 30 pitches here for Kikuchi through 1 1/3 innings. They're hoping he can give at least 5-6 innings tonight, as the bullpen can get some much-needed rest with so many games and so many nights. As Marte will hit that one through the gap. Springer misses it, and it gets stuck underneath the wall. And Marte will move into third. Marte will move into third, but they're going to talk about this because the ball got stuck underneath the wall after Springer tried to get it on the original hop. That was a really good hit by Marte. That was low and away and drives it to the gap. And Springer just missed it, and it got stuck underneath the wall. Springer had to find it, and that's why Marte got to third. And the Blue Jays were calling out there that the ball was under the wall. And the umps have decided that it's going to be a double and not a triple, that Marte has to go back to second due to the fact that the ball got stuck underneath the wall. And here comes the manager for the Mets to see what is going on here. And that's why I always said they should put the wall all the way to the ground. Don't have, space between the wall. And this is kind of what's going to cause the Mets to only go from a triple to a double. It's because Springer knew where the ball was, but it was stuck underneath the wall. He easily did pull it out. So I can see the Mets argument here. But for the Blue Jays, they might have caught a break here. And, with the manager talking to the umpires, that gives Kikuchi a couple seconds to just kind of catch his breath, his composure, and go from there. And they're not going to throw him out, as the Mets manager was pretty calm about the whole thing. As here comes McNeil, 287 batting this year after doing a phenomenal job last year. As they're still talking about it here, as Bichette's going to watch Marte at second here, and McNeil will swing at the first pitch. It's in foul territory. Heineman and Chapman run after it, but it almost hit Hazel May there in the camera booth. Heads up, Hazel. As they're talking to Hazel May, making sure she's okay here, and she's having a little bit of a laugh. As here's the I'm just pointed at McNeil, pointed at Kikuchi. McNeil, 287, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs this year in 59 games, as I don't know what the ump was trying to do. But here's Kikuchi with the 0-1 pitch and fouled over the Blue Jays bullpen or dugout again for a 0-2 count. Jeff McNeil, 2023 versus fastballs. He has a 306 average and only a 5.2 whiff percentage. As here's the 0-2 pitch from Kikuchi, and that will be popped up into foul territory. Chapman over, and that will be out number 2 by Matt Chapman. As McNeil wanted to hold back on that, just couldn't, and Vientos is up to bat with the 172 average as Kikuchi's asking for another ball. And he got one from the ump there. As that was a pretty good pitch outside, low and outside, and McNeil chased. As Vientos is DHing today, as that will be called strike 1 with Marte on second after a controversial double to triple play. I would have called it a triple, but the umps did reverse it back to a double. As the 0-1 pitch is in the dirt, and Heineman can't keep it in front of him, so Marte will go to third on the wild pitch by Yusei Kikuchi. As I'm just getting a notification about my bachelor party. Okay. I'll give him a call later. As it is a 1-2 count to Vientos, as Kikuchi is looking over at Marte at third after a wild play. Marte got to second, and with a wild pitch got to third, as that pitch will be high and taken for ball 2. 2-2 count to Vientos by Kikuchi, who's pitched 38 pitches so far in this game for the Toronto Blue Jays, as he's looking for the third out here in the bottom of the second. And Kikuchi, and a swing and a miss, gets him for his 4th strikeout in 2 innings. It's a pretty good ratio, 66% of the strikeouts. We'll take that any day if you're the Toronto Blue Jays. As we are going to commercial break about Subway. If you're new to the channel and don't mind watching along with us for anything MLB, news, whatever, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as we're just going to do this for fun, and let's see where this goes. And during the winter times, we got the NHL covered here, as I believe tomorrow is game 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Hey, that Vegas team, as much as I hate them because I'm an Oilers fan, you got to say they're doing pretty good. And Matthew Tkachuk and the Florida Panthers as well. As we are in the commercial break here. Just telling my best man that I'll call him in a bit there, so it is what it is. And flashback to Kikuchi with the Mariners against Aaron Judge, and got Judge swinging off his shoe tops. And Kodai Senga was the pitcher in that game too, as New York and the Mariners played back in the day. Now Kikuchi is with the Blue Jays. Senga coming back over from Japan to play with the Mets. As Kodai Senga wants the ball back, as he's ready to go here for the Blue Jays. As Bo Bichette, who struck out in the first innings, up to bat here for the Jays. And here's the pitch. That is inside for ball one. Bichette, 335 average this season, 12 home runs, 39 RBIs. For sure a lock for possibly an all-star selection, as he will ground that out to Francisco Lindor, cross the diamond, and Bichette will be out. As up next, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who walked in the first and got thrown out by Alvarez as a quick pitch to first after the pitch came in. 285, 8 home runs, 36 RBIs for Vladdy, as he just rips one down the left field line, and that is gone. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. does it again. High inside fastball, and Guerrero's going to turn on that 9 times out of 10, and Kana didn't even move. He knew that was gone. He turned around and didn't walk anywhere. As Guerrero makes this a 3-0 game, as the Jays are trying to sweep the Mets here in this series before going to Houston tomorrow with Manoah on the mound. But let's get done this game as Guerrero, a walk and a home run in his first 2 at-bats. Great to see by Vladdy. As here's Brandon Belt, he's 0 for 1, and that's a high. Okay, I was going to call that a high fastball, but the ump thought otherwise. And it's a 0-1 count here to Brandon Belt, who is playing first base for Vladdy tonight. And that will be a ball in the dirt, as it is a 1-1 count to. And that is only Vladdy's second home run in 108 plate appearances. Struggling hitting the bomb, but that's okay, as it's a 2-1 count to Brandon Belt here. Kodai Senga at 52 pitches with 1 out in the third. We'll see how far the Mets will let him go if he keeps continuing on this pace. That will be a strike all day. Brandon Belt didn't like the fastball inside. Let that one be called, as he struck out in the second as well, leading off in the second. Now here's the 2-2 pitch, and that was a good chase curveball that Senga threw, but Belt was not chasing, and it's a full count here after giving off the leadoff home run giving up a home run. The ump just blew that, as Brandon Belt strikes out looking, but that pitch was about a good 4 or 5 inches off the plate, as they're re-showing Vladdy's home run, as he just got on that. And here's Matt Chapman, who gets called strike swinging, as he tried to check his swing. As Vladdy's a little bit excited in the dugout. You know, it's different without the home run jacket, without Teoscar Hernandez and whatnot in there, as Matt Chapman will hit one down the line. It's fair. And he will roll in the second with the Blue Jays' third extra base hit in as many innings. Exit velocity on that, 109. This Blue Jays team knows how to power these hits. And that was looked like a two-seam or a sinker coming into Chapman, and he turns on that, and he knew that was a double right away. He wasn't even looking at the first base coach. He just went, and that will be the second double. And last 4 hits for Matt Chapman, 3 doubles, 1 home run. So he's seen the ball pretty good. As here's Dalton Varsho up next. Walked or singled and scored in his last at bat. 3 extra base hits for the Jays so far in this game. 2 doubles and a homer by Vladdy in this inning. As here, I don't even know who's behind the plate, but he is blowing calls for both teams. It's not even funny to watch anymore. As that was a high fastball, still called a strike. 1-1 count. Kodai Senga on his 60th pitch of the game here. 2 outs, top of the third, with Chapman on second. And that ball is in the dirt, and Chapman's just going to stay at second. 2-1 count to Dalton Varsho, who, like I said, singled and scored in the second off of a beautiful hit by Merrifield to score Varsho and Chapman. And Vladdy, just a couple batters ago, hitting a home run to make this game 3-0 Jays in the third. Here's pitch 61 by Senga, and that is high and away. It is a 3-1 count to Dalton Varsho here, as Senga is kind of struggling. And this isn't the Kodai Senga we've seen this year, that pitchers are just being wild right now. Alvarez sets up. Here's the pitch by Senga, and that is away. And Alvarez tried to quick play on Chapman. Chapman's going around. He's going home. Safe at the plate. Matt Chapman on a wild throw from second, or from Alvarez to second, getting into the outfield, scores from second on a wild play. And that will be an error to Alvarez, as it is 4-0. And on that walk, Dalton Varsho makes his way to second. Chapman dove back to second. There was miscommunication between the left fielder and center fielder on who was getting that ball, and that gave Chapman a few extra steps back to get to the plate. And Chapman was just on his horse again after being on his horse, and that is safe. They're not gonna they are challenging. The Mets are challenging that Chapman was out at home. Like I said, that's close. Alvarez, that ball almost hit Chapman. I don't know how Alvarez actually caught that through Chapman. This is going to be huge if it's called good by Chapman's front foot might have jumped over the plate. They're taking a long look at this. If it's safe, Blue Jays up 4-0 with a runner on second. If he's out, 3-0 going to the bottom of the third. Kodai Senga is going to throw a few pitches. I think Chapman's foot jumped at home plate. I think he might be out. And he is called safe. That was a wild play. And Matt Chapman safe at home. Varsho at second. And the always dangerous hitting machine for doubles and singles, Whit Merrifield, is up after already driving in 2 runs with a double in the second. Merrifield's up here in the third. Blue Jays up 4-0. Senga, 62 pitches And we're only 2 outs in the third. So we'll see how long he's going, as they are doing another mound visit for the second time in this game, as Varsho's been at second this whole time just waiting for the call. And Merrifield is up to bat. What a hustle play on both plays by Matt Chapman. First, to get the double, he ran really hard for that. And then to dive back into second, realize the ball is in the outfield, and having Rivera waving him home, knowing that there was a miscommunication by the outfielders. It is 4-0, as Whit Merrifield will take one low for ball one, as Varsho took his walk and saw the ball getting thrown home and took second. So great heads up play by Varsho too, not just to walk to first, but actually get to first and notice what was going on, as Merrifield, 297 average, 2 home runs, now 23 RBIs with that 2-run double inning ago, and it's a 2-0 count to Merrifield as well. Senga, 65th pitch of this game already for him, and that will drop into the strike zone. Whit Merrifield could have swung at that, but didn't, as it is a 2-1 count here. And this game could be easily 5-0 if it wasn't for the fantastic play by Francisco Lindor with a runner at second, getting Biggio out by a diving play. It was pretty nice play by Francisco Lindor, as that will be strike two, and Merrifield does not like that call at all. Like I said, both teams not liking the calls the ump is given. They have been terrible this game for sure. Merrifield choking up on the bat like he always does in 2 strike counts. Now it's a full count, as that one is in the dirt, and this will be pitch 68. So I can see Senga maybe doing one more inning after this. It will be a stretch to have him go at least 5 in this game. Full count, runner on second, 2 outs, 4-0 Blue Jays. As the pitch is in, here goes the pitch, and that will be ball 4. And Whit Merrifield took a really, I would have swung at that pitch, because, that was a really tight pitch, but Merrifield took it. And now Kevin Biggio 0 for 1 after that diving catch. And Senga is getting pulled here, I believe, as the manager. Yeah, Senga is getting pulled, as the Blue Jays get to Senga in just 2 2/3 innings. He could only manage to get 8 outs on the Blue Jays, as it didn't say who was coming in, but the Mets are making a pitching change right away. So the Blue Jays doing their job against Kodai Senga, as they're trying to look to sweep this series before going to Houston tomorrow. As we just have a commercial break for you guys in here, if you're new to the channel, like anything MLB related, news, trades, rumors, whatever it is, we'll have it here covered on the channel. And, during the winter time, we'll have that hockey for sure. Probably going to live stream Game 2 tomorrow, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Vegas taking a 1-0 series lead over Florida with a 5-2 win. Aiden Hill, oh my Jesus, that was a really nice save with the stick last night to help Vegas win that. Now they're just talking about Hazel May stuff, and we'll be back to the game once the reliever is out and ready to go. I do have a poll going if you guys want. Who's going to win? Mets, Blue Jays? You know the score right now. That poll was made at the start of the game before the score. Yeah, it is. We'll see. Just answering the best man bag. Uh-oh. He never asked to come see me. That's a weird question. But Biggio, Nogosek comes in, gets Biggio on the first pitch as they're showing replays of this inning as that's 3 outs for the Blue Jays. Matt Chapman hustling the bases, getting in to score on a walk. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., second home run in 108 plate appearances. As I got kids crying out my door, I'll be right back with that. All right, I'm back here, folks, as we are getting to the bottom of the third. The Blue Jays up 4-0. I'll be right back again. Hang on. Who says let's go to Calgary on a Sunday? Unless Bye. All right, we are back here as he hasn't texted back. So 1 out here after a home run. I missed a home run. So it is 4-1 Jays now here in the bottom of the third with 1 out. So I missed 2 batters. So let's go back. Good thing there's a sports app for this since I was dealing with the kids. As Kikuchi, and that will be called a check swing. As Tommy Pham would homer. So Tommy Pham with the home run for the Jays, or for the Mets in this game. And there's another hit. Dalton Varsho on the warning track, and that will just stay in as the Mets almost went back-to-back home runs on Kana's hit there, and that will be 2 outs as Kikuchi was watching that, and he knew he messed up on that pitch there as Kikuchi, 52 pitches in this game, 2 outs in the third, so he's probably on pace to go about 5 innings, which is what the Jays would like from their starters, 5-6 innings a piece. Being that it's Kikuchi, 5 innings is pretty good for the Blue Jays. Here's Francisco Lindor, robbed Biggio of a hit in the second inning and possibly an RBI, as he is 0 for 1 today against Kikuchi, and he will swing through a fastball down the middle, and that will be a 1-1 count as Lindor, 211 average, 10 home runs, 40 RBIs, and he struck out in the first inning. And that will be, that's another pick. This umpire isn't getting anything right here for both teams. This is terrible. He's calling one of those a strike every inning, and the next one he's not, as that will be a strike 2 to Lindor, 2-2 count to Lindor as Kikuchi's trying to strike out Lindor for the second time in as many at-bats. And that's a fastball down the middle. Varsho dives and can't make the catch as he keeps the ball near him. And that is just going to be a loud single by Francisco Lindor as Varsho tried to make a diving catch. It popped in and out of his glove as he was landing, but kept the ball in front of him where his glove was and kept Francisco Lindor to a loud single as that was going for the gap. Nice try by Varsho there in center field for the Blue Jays. And Lindor thought that was being caught too because he jogged to first and realized when the ball was out that he should have been running, as here's Alonso taking strike 1. One swing of the bat here. The Mets are back in this game, and you could tell that I don't think the manager's happy with Lindor on how he handled that at all. 0-1 count to Alonso, and a swing and a miss. And that's an 0-2 count here, as we've been live for an hour already. Timeout by Alonso, 0-2 count, 2 outs. Tommy Pham homered in this inning. Lindor with a single that should have been easily a double if he tried. And Kikuchi throws the ball to first, and Bell can't handle it because it was in the dirt, but Lindor started to go to second, decided, hey, I'm turning around, and stayed at first. That was a low pitch a low throw over by Kikuchi. It bounced to Brandon Belt. 0-2 count to Alonso. Pitch has to come in after throwing that one. And Heineman, that one's in the dirt, but Heineman will keep that in front of him. How does Kikuchi bounce that one to Belt? I don't know how he doesn't just flub, sling that over, but it is a 1-2 count to Pete Alonso here. 4-1 Jays, bottom of the third, and that is a swing and a miss. No, they're going to say he fouled that off his own foot. So Alonso's still alive off of that play. Oh, yeah, he did foul that right off the inside part of his back knee, and he is down. He'll get some treatment for that for sure. As he's just going to walk in there. The ump's going to give him some time. So those do sting. Here's the 1-2 pitch again for Kikuchi. Pitch 62 of the game. And Alonso will foul that off of Heineman's mask now. So who's next? The umpire? Maybe knock some sense into him? It's a possibility. As he's been blowing calls for both the Mets and Blue Jays pitchers so far this game. Another 1-2 count, pitch 63 for Kikuchi. And that is a high pop-up into short center field as Bichette's calling everyone off, and he has it as Tommy Pham will hit a home run to get the Mets back in, but it's 4-1 Blue Jays after the third inning here, folks. So I'm just going to plug the charger in, wherever the charger went. Where'd the charger go here? We'll just go through here. There we go. And we'll do that. So we'll see if the sound's still coming through. Perfect. We're good. So that is golden as we're going to the top of the fourth. I believe it is Tyler Heineman, and then the top of the order will be due up Springer, Bichette, Guerrero. Guerrero already hitting a home run. Springer and Bichette need to get going there for the Blue Jays. As there's an uncrunchable. As we're just waiting for Alpine credits to get off the TV here to start the fourth inning of work. As what is going on here? It don't matter. Orioles, Giants are today as well. What's kind of sad is the AL East, all of them are top 8 in the AL. The MLB really needs to do something with their playoffs. You want the most money? Have the best teams playing, not the winner of each division, when half the time at least 3 or more teams in the AL can win each of the other AL divisions. As Nogosek is still in this game as Tyler Heineman is up after taking a walk in the second inning. He takes ball 1 there, and that's a strike. That was a beautiful pitch for a strike. And that will be ball 2 to Heineman. 2-1 count here. Heineman, 154 average, no home runs, no RBIs. And that was away, and he'll swing and foul that off. But Escobar goes over and makes a really good catch. Tyler Heineman is out, and Escobar, he looks okay, but he is grinning like something might have hurt when he ran into the wall to make that catch. Great play by Escobar. 1 out. 1 out here. As George Springer's up to bat, 0-2 today. So far with his third up. his third at bat, and we're only 1 out in the fourth as he looks at a low ball outside, 1-1 count. He has grounded out and lined out. He tried to bloop hit in the second inning to score a run, and that's high. And Springer takes the count from 0-1 to 2-1 here today. And Springer gets one, but gets underneath it, and he will pop it up for that second out. I thought that was gone by the way Springer looked at it, but he just got under that, and he knew it. He threw his bat at the ground, and he's not happy with himself knowing that could have been a loud home run to restore a 4-run lead for the Blue Jays. Bichette 0 for 2 in this game, and he swings through a fastball down the middle for strike one. Bichette's average gone down 2 points now because of this game. He's down from a 335 to a 333. Still a really good season by Bo Bichette. And he gets underneath that one, fouled over top of the Mets dugout, and a fan will have a souvenir courtesy of Bo Bichette. Oh, 2 count to Bichette, 2 outs and a swing, and he fouls out off the catcher as he stays alive, as the camera wasn't really on for the pitch. The pitch was already coming in by the time the camera switched to it. But it is 0-2 count again to Bichette, one of the best 2-strike hitters in the league, as he'll foul that one down the right field line. Foul. As Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is on deck. If Bichette can get in, Guerrero already homered this game as Bichette takes a ball in the dirt for a 1-2 count. My voice is starting to go after going to the Luke Combs concert last night. With 2 strikes this year, Bichette 244 average. So not a bad average for a 2-strike count. And that will be popped behind the plate again. 1-2 count again to Bo Bichette. Getting tired here. The concert wore me out yesterday. Here's the 1-2 count again for, I think, the third time. And that was running up at Bo's face. He'll back away. 2-2 count to Bichette from Nogosek, who, after coming in to get the last out in the third after the Jays chased Kodai Senga, is on pitch 18, and Bichette again going to foul that off, and there is a reason why he's up there in the best of the best for 2-strike counts. 244 average is okay, but when you make the pitcher pitch more than what he needs to, that's really good. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Bichette will swing at that fastball away, and that will be the third out for the Blue Jays. Oh, sorry, my voice is going. That concert took a little bit out of me last night. Oh, that concert did take a lot out of me last night. Luke Combs, Riley Green, love it. As we'll just see how this is doing. $19 views last hour. I'll take that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated for all your MLB news, rumors, live streams, playoffs, All-Star game, whatever it is, we got it here on the channel. as they're showing Fred VanVleet and the beard trimmer. As they're showing the Stanley Cup, Matthew Tkachuk, Jack Eichel. As we're just waiting for the game to resume here. If you're new to the channel, like I said, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. As the Blue Jays start a 4-game series versus the Houston Astros tomorrow, June 5th, as it will be, I believe, Alek Manoah on the mound for the Blue Jays. Craig Biggio is at the game here to watch his son play, and no doubt about it, he'll be in Houston for the series to watch Kevin play as well. As here is Escobar, as he's going to foul the first pitch he sees of this inning down the line. Pitch number 2 is going to be outside or inside for ball 1. 1-1 count. And it's kind of weird to see that everyone's walking past Craig Biggio and doesn't even acknowledge him. As here's the 1-1 count, Escobar will foul that behind the plate for strike 2. 242 average this year for Escobar, 4 home runs, 14 RBIs as he calls time to get reset in there. And the pitch clock is starting. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Kikuchi, and Escobar will foul that down the right field line, but into the stands as he stays alive on this 1-2 count. Escobar swings at a ball in the dirt. Heineman keeps in front of him, will throw it to first, and that's Kikuchi's 6th strikeout in a matter of 10 batters. So Kikuchi striking out 60% of the batters he's faced this game. As here's Marte, after he got a double in his first at-bat, watches a pitch outside the zone for strike 1. 4-1 Blue Jays. 2 home runs, 1 per each team. Guerrero for the Blue Jays, Pham for the Mets. 3 extra base hits by the Blue Jays so far in this game has them well in front as Marte doubled, like I said, in the 2nd inning. As there's a fastball high in the zone, and 2-1 count now to Marte. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Kikuchi has the off-speed stuff going in this game for sure. As there's a pitch and hit to center field by Marte. Varsho a few steps back will catch that for 2 outs here, as Kikuchi has 6 strikeouts through 11 possible outs here. He's at pitch 73, so if he could get McNeil out here quick, he could come in for the 5th, pitch the 5th. I think we're pushing 6th at that point. But he's at 73 pitches in this game and has out-dueled Kodai Senga. He has out-dueled Kodai Senga, so that's a thing there for Kikuchi as Kodai Senga gets pulled in the 3rd inning after giving up 4 runs. And his pitch count was at about 70 for that too. as the left-hander McNeil up to bat against the left-hander Kikuchi, and he swings through that one for strike one as McNeil fouled out in the second to Matt Chapman. Here's pitch number 2, and that's up there too. That's strike 2. That's the type of pitches we want from Kikuchi right there for the Blue Jays. As here's the 0-2 count to McNeil, and he swings through it. 3 pitches, 7 strikeouts for Kikuchi through 4 innings. He is on fire. He is at 75 pitches, though, so he will be back for the 5th inning, possibly the 6th. We'll see how the 5th goes. But the Blue Jays leading 4-1 here today over the New York Mets, as my grandma just got here, so I do have to go visit with her. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Gillis TV. I'll catch you on the next one.